There are things not even soap operas dare to make up. And soap operas have already made people die and come back, marry their own siblings, and even swap bodies with their fathers-in-law. But this story, this one is different, because it's not just improbable, it's impossible, or at least, it was supposed to be. It all started on a cloudy Tuesday, one of those days when the sky seems to be in mourning. The wind whistled through the corners of Sao Paulo, and the smell of burnt bread escaped from some careless bakery, and there he was, Italian suit, shoes shinier than a clean conscience, and a phone always glued to his ear, Vinícius Ferraz, CEO of an empire, the youngest man to make the Forbes list without inheritance, without a godfather, just with cold blood and calculation. Andre, did you buy the factory in Thailand? Great. If the union starts whining, shut it all down and open it in Vietnam. People who complain just slow things down. It was at that moment, stopped at the Rebuca's traffic light, that he saw them, for children, sweaty, thin, in rags, holding cardboard signs with crooked letters and a look you can't learn in any school. But it wasn't the poverty that caught Vinícius's eye. It was the mirror, all for same mouth, same chin. Same slender nose. And, my God, the same amber-colored eyes. Rare, nearly extinct. That color his mother used to call wolf eyes, hungry for life. A genetic trait that only passed down a direct bloodline. He trembled. Andre, I'll call you back. He hung up, rolled the window down, stared at them. For pairs of eyes staring right back. Then the oldest, maybe 10 years old, stepped forward and said in a firm voice, Sir, can you help us eat today? We haven't had dinner in 2 days. Vinícius felt the world spin. It wasn't pity. It wasn't compassion. It was fear. What's your mother's name? He asked, curtly. The answer hit like a punch to the gut. Sophia. Sophia enraged. The light turned green. Cars honked. But Vinícius stood still, frozen, because that name, he hadn't heard it in 11 years, and the detail that scared him the most. Sophia Andrade was the name of the only woman he ever loved. And who vanished without a trace. Asterisk that night. Vinícius didn't sleep, didn't even try. The pillow felt like it had nails in it, and the silence of the penthouse apartment, the same silence he used to say he loved, suddenly turned into a scream from the past. Sophia Andrade, the girl from the outskirts who won him over back in college. While the others laughed at her worn-out jeans, he was enchanted by her proud posture. She was strong, didn't bend even to fate. Vinícius fell in love and swore he'd marry her if we make it to the top together. I swear I'll never leave you, Sophia. She laughed that day. You speak so sweetly, Vinícius. But the world changes people too much, and it really did, because when his company made its first $1 million profit, she vanished. No fight. No goodbye. Just a text message. Don't look for me. And he didn't. Not out of pride, but out of fear. Fear of finding the truth that would destroy him. But now for children with the same eyes, as it show up out of nowhere, with the surname of the only woman who ever made him crying. Secret. This wasn't coincidence. It was reckoning. The next morning, he returned to the intersection. Same time, same place, but the children, nowhere. Gone. Damn it, he muttered, kicking an empty can. He came back the next day. And the next. And the next. Until on the 5th day, he found a clue. The smallest one, a boy around 6, was sleeping, curled up under a torn blanket near a bus stop. Vinícius approached. Hey, little guy, wake up. The boy, startled, tried to run, but Vinícius was faster. Easy. I'm not going to hurt you. I just want to know about you, about your mom, about Sophia. The boy stopped, looked at him again. You're the man with the black car, the one with eyes like ours. Vinícius swallowed hard. Yes, and I need to understand. What's going on? The boy pulled a dirty little chain from his pocket, handed it to him. Mommy said if we ever met a man who looked like this, we should give him this. Vinícius opened his hand. It was a St. Anthony medal, the same one he gave Sophia their first Christmas together. It even had his name engraved on the back. This can't be happening. Mommy said you were a dream she had to erase. But that someday, the dream might wake up again. That was when the floor gave way. Because at that moment, Vinícius realized something. Either those children were his, or the world was toying with the last piece of his heart he swore he had buried. Vinícius didn't waste time. He picked the boy up in his arms, ignoring his designer suit, and got into the car. "Take me to your home now." The boy hesitated. "But Mommy said we can't show anyone where we live." "What? If I'm someone from her past," Vinícius countered, "then you're the man from the hidden picture?" Silence, a silence so thick it could be cut with a knife. The car stopped a few kilometers away, on a street forgotten by time. Houses made from the remains of other houses. Barefoot children playing with a plastic bottle, and a rusty iron gate with a crooked sign hanging. "Hope Home." Children's shelter. Vinícius blinked several times. "An orphanage." The boy nodded. "We don't live here, but Aunt Ju lets us sleep in the back when it rains." Inside the gate, a short, gray-haired woman gasped when she saw Vinícius. "You." He frowned. "Do you know me? You're Vinícius?" "Sophia showed me your photo the day she came here with the kids in her arms. She was terrified, injured, and had the saddest eyes I've ever seen." Vinícius's head was spinning. "Where is she? Take me to her, please." "I can't. She made me promise, and I keep my promises to the last strand of hair." "Then tell me, why did she disappear? Why didn't she ever look for me?" The woman crossed her arms, as if holding a secret she feared might slip through her lips. "You really don't know, do you?" "Know what?" She took a deep breath. "Sophia ran because she was afraid, and because she thought you might destroy everything she still had left that was pure." "Me? Destroy?" "I loved her, ma'am." "Exactly, and that's why. Because her love for you was so big it hurt. And when she found out the truth, she thought it was better to disappear than to confront you." "What truth, ma'am?" She walked over to an old cabinet, opened the drawer, and pulled out a yellowed envelope. "She left this, said it should only be given if you ever came looking for her." Vinícius took the envelope. His hands were shaking. "Inside is the answer you're looking for, but maybe not the one you want." The paper was folded in the handwriting he knew by heart. "Vinícius, if you're reading this, it's because something stronger than pride brought you here. But know this, when I left, it was because of something no woman should ever have to discover. You were betrayed just like I was, by the same person." At the end of the letter, a single word written in capital letters, "Mother." Vinícius dropped the paper on the floor, because at that moment, he realized the hole was much deeper, and the past wasn't buried. It was waiting for the right time to strike back. Asterisk on the way home. Vinícius dropped his phone twice. His hands wouldn't obey. His mind was burning. The final line of the letter echoed like fire. "You were betrayed by the same person I was." His mother, matriarch of the Ferris family, a stern woman, always elegant, always in control. Since he was a child, Vinícius felt she was hiding something. But he never dared dig the deep until now. As soon as he got home, he went straight to the safe. There were old medical exams, health records, vaccinations, even a fertility test he had done at 24 at his mother's insistence. He stared at the document. Low sperm count, high risk of infertility. He didn't understand. So he picked up the phone. "Dr. Jorge, it's Vinícius Ferraz. I need you at my apartment now, and bring a DNA kit, urgent." "Now, sir." "But now, Jorge." No questions. 30 minutes later, samples were collected from the boy's hair he had saved, from the sweat-soaked cloth one of them had used, and from him. "How long until we get the results?" he asked, eyes bloodshot. "With top priority, 24 hours. The next morning, the notification arrived, and with it, the world collapsed. Genetic match, 99.98%. Paternity confirmed. All for every single one. But what shattered him most was the note at the end of the report. Given the result and medical history, it is highly likely that the sperm and eggs were manipulated in a laboratory setting. Vinícius dropped the phone. Laboratory manipulation. So that was it. They hadn't been born by accident. They were created by decision, by someone. And only one person had the power and cruelty to do that, his own mother. The car pulled up to the Ferraz mansion like a bull about to charge the arena. Vinícius stepped out with the look of a man who didn't want answers. He wanted confession. He knocked hard. The maid hesitated. "Mrs. Helena is in a meeting. She'll be in a funeral if she doesn't see me now." He stormed in. The matriarch sat in a white leather chair, sipping tea. "Vinícius, what kind of entrance is this?" He threw the documents on the table. "Explain, now." She didn't flinch, picked up the papers as if leafing through an old photo album. "So, you finally found my grandchildren," he screamed. "They're not your grandchildren. You did this." "Yes, I did." Silence. Not a surprise, but of horror. She continued. "As calm as a blizzard, Sophia was going to destroy you. She distracted you from business, made you soft. You didn't see it, but I did. So I did what any mother would do. I protected my legacy. You used my genes and hers in a lab. I paid a fortune, but I ensured the next generation of the Ferris family without the useless emotions of you two. You're a monster. I'm a visionary." He collapsed to his knees because in that room, he realized his children had been raised in darkness, not by life's accident, but by a calculated, cruel plan devised by the one who was supposed to protect him. And the worst part, they didn't even know who they were. Not yet. Vinícius's world felt like a sandcastle hit by a cold, bitter wave. Everything he built, all the bricks of pride, success, independence were nothing but a facade. Because while he stacked millions, his mother stacked lies. Sitting on the sidewalk of the orphanage, he watched the four kids tossing pebbles on the ground like any other child. But they weren't ordinary and never would be. The youngest, a little girl with braids and the same pointed chin as his, approached. "Are you sad, mister?" Vinícius looked at her and swallowed hard. "I'm trying to understand a lot of things, little one." She smiled, as only those untouched by the weight of the world can smile. "Mommy said when we're sad, we should think about fluffy clouds and hot chocolate. But we've never had hot chocolate." That tore him apart. "What's your name?" he asked, voice cracking. "Clarinha." "Do you know who I am, Clarinha?" She thought for a moment, then said, "You're the man from the photo, the one in the hidden box. Mommy kissed your picture when she thought we were asleep." His heart nearly stopped. "And where's that box now?" "And you hid it when Mommy disappeared." Said it could be dangerous. Vinícius ran to. The director. Begged, pleaded, cried. She went to the back of an old cabinet and pulled out a faded blue box. Inside, a crumpled photo of him and Sophia, a hospital bracelet, and a note. "If love ever comes back, may it not repeat the mistakes of the past. Don't tell the children the truth before they're ready. Protect them, even from yourself." Signed, Sophia. Vinícius fell to his knees because he felt it, right? Then, she was dead, or if alive, she was even further away than death could reach. And that note was his last chance at redemption. Vinícius bought a modest but cozy apartment. He made sure the rooms had colorful beds, superhero wallpaper, and teddy bears. The children entered cautiously, but their eyes lit up quickly. "Is this all for us?" asked the oldest, Lucas. "Yes, son." The word slipped out before he noticed. "Son, I can be, if you'll let me." They looked at each other. Clarinha stepped forward, tugging on his sleeve. "Are you our daddy?" Silence. He knelt down. "Yes, and I took too long to find out, even longer to deserve it." All four hugged him at once. It was a clumsy, tight, warm hug. And full of forgiveness. But the happiness didn't last long, because that night, someone knocked on the door. An envelope. No sender. Inside, just a single sheet. Letters cut from magazines. "They're not yours, and if you keep going, you'll lose everything." And beneath it, a photo of Sophia, alive, walking down a street in another city with a frightened look and a scar on her arm he didn't remember. The next day, Vinícius hired private investigators. Clues indicated Sophia had been seen in the countryside of Minas Gerais, working as a caregiver on a remote farm. But every time they got close, she vanished again. One trail led to a deactivated psychiatric clinic. There, they found falsified records, switched names, and an old file with her photo under the name Helena Souza. Diagnosis: induced paranoia, involuntary commitment due to family risk. Admission date: 2 days after she disappeared from Vinícius's life. Authorization for commitment signed by Helena Ferraz, his mother. Sophia had been locked away in a hospital by manipulated court order. Declared insane while caring for lives inside her, Vinícius burned inside. She didn't flee out of cowardice. She had been silenced, exiled, for loving. And now, if she was still alive, she was a woman in hiding, not from justice, but from a past that had chased her with invisible chains. Vinícius called the press. Held a conference, displayed documents, revealed the genetic experiment, the forced hospitalization, the abandoned children, and his mother's name. My own mother violated the rights of an innocent woman, made me an absent father. But today, I break this cycle. I apologize to the world, and I declare I will find Sophia and give my children the truth that was stolen from them. Brazil came to a halt. The case went viral. TV shows, newspapers, internet. Everyone wanted to know, where's Sophia? Meanwhile, in the back of a small house hidden in a nameless village, a woman watched the TV with trembling hands. He looked for me. He knows tears streamed slowly, that she touched the scar on her arm. But will he forgive me for accepting that deal? Sophia was located by an investigative journalist. She was living under a different name, sewing children's clothes in exchange for shelter. When confronted, she asked only one thing: let me tell the truth before others invent it for me. She explained that after being institutionalized by force, she received visits from Helena. Vinícius' mother made an offer: either disappear with a sum of money or never leave the mental hospital again. She refused, then was drugged for months. The babies were born without her even seeing them. She only found out there were 4 when a kind nurse told her. She escaped with that nurse's help, and since then lived in hiding. Afraid. Guilty. Longing. But now she was ready. And asked for a meeting with her for children. And with him, Vinícius. Because some truths only heal when spoken while looking into the eyes of the one you lost. The old Ferris mansion was sold. With the money, Vinícius bought land in the countryside, built a spacious house with a garden, fruit trees, a porch with a hammock, and a bedroom for each child. Sophia began teaching remedial classes to underprivileged kids. And smiled like someone who had been reborn. One day, Clarinha showed up holding a sheet of paper. Daddy, can I change my name? He knelt down. Of course, sweetheart. But why? I want your last name too. Because now, we're really a family, right? He cried. Sophia. And the boy smiled. The forgotten new birth certificates, new IDs. A fresh start. And on the walls of their new home, no photos of the old life. Just new pictures with amber eyes and genuine smiles. A few weeks later, a box arrived in the mail. No sender, but with an old psychiatric clinic stamp. Inside were over 20 letters, all from Sophia, written during her years of confinement. Never sent, never read. She opened them one by one. And read them aloud, with her children gathered around. Letters for the babies. Letters for Vinícius, letters for herself. If someday this is read, it's because I survived. And if I survived, it's because inside me, for hearts beat with mine. Vinícius held the last letter. It was for him. You never betrayed me. What betrayed us was fear. But now, if you still love me, meet me at the gate. Every true love deserves a second chance. He smiled and whispered, I'm here, Sophia. And this time for good. Years passed. The Ferris name returned to the top, but not through business. Through humanity. The Amber Eyes Foundation was created by Vinícius and Sophia. It supports mothers who suffered abandonment, violence, and injustice. The 4 children grew up with school, affection, and history. Their own story, told with no filters. With scars and victories. Clarinha wants to be a doctor. Lucas dreams of becoming a writer. The other 2 are still exploring the world. But they all share something. They know they were loved before they were even born. And every night, on the porch of their new home, Vinícius looks to the sky and says, there are things money can't buy. A hug at the right time. A forgiveness given without asking anything in return. And the miracle of seeing for lives that weren't meant to exist. Teaching the world how to live. Because in the end, there's love that not even DNA can explain.